Welcome, digital teaching rock stars. I am Miss Mendoza. Today is Preview Friday. I don't know if that's a thing. I think I just made it up. But I'm making this video for you today to teach you how to digitize any resource. And so that's what the goal is today. So if you have your favorite worksheet or your favorite resource that you still want to use, but just don't know how to do it, hopefully the steps I show you today will help you make it digitize it in order for you to use it in your classroom. So before we do that though, I wanted to go over the SAM model. So the SAMR model is what is basically the Bloom's taxonomy of online teaching. And so we have three levels. We have substitution, augmentation, modification, and redefinition. So whenever you get further down your SAMR model or the letters, you're really transforming student learning with technology. And so that's really the goal of online learning is to use technology to transform student learning. So what we're going to do today, we're going to start with substitution because if we're new to this or we're just haven't ventured out enough, this is where we start. This is where I started. I still use substitution. It is okay to use substitution, but just so you know that the goal is for us to get either into augmentation, modification, and redefinition. And that's my goal with these videos and with our Digital Teaching Rockstar Facebook group, is for us to support each other to be able to really become rock stars and transform student learning through technology. All right, so let's get started. So the first thing that you need to have is a really awesome resource that you just love. So I don't necessarily love this resource, but I wanted to show you with the worksheet that I had because I'm working on my functions and function notation for my Algebra 1 class. So if you have something like this, the first thing you want to do is pull it up and download it. This is a PDF file. And I'm going to actually zoom it out. Okay, and the reason I'm zooming out is because I'm going to take a picture of this. So I'm going to go to my snipping tool. You see how I had snipped that one? And I'll go to new. And you want to get the entire document in this snip. It looks good. Let me try one more time because I don't like those edges on the outside. You can go a little bit inside. Okay, so once you do that, you're going to hit the save button. And you're going to save it. You see how it says JPEG file? So make sure you remember where you saved it. So it's under this PC, under pictures, and I'm going to title this Function Intervention Practice 1. You don't have to have long titles like me. I like to know exactly what I have. So it's a JPEG file, that's fine, and I'm going to save it. And so I have another one here that is actually two sheets in one because the other one is evaluating functions. You can do both. I'm only going to do one in this case because I just want to show you how to do this. Okay, so once you have that saved, you're going to go and open up your slides. So go to your apps and then go to slides and then go to blank presentation. The first thing that you need to do is you can do two things first. So I'm going to clear these boxes out because I know I'm not going to use them. So I'm going to click on it and just hit backspace. The second thing I need to do is I need to change the size of my slide so that way my worksheet fits in there nicely. So our regular paper is 8.5 by 11. So I go to File. I go down to page setup and then I click on the down arrow and I hit custom and then I go to 8.5 by 11. If you have, this is the portrait. If you have a landscape sheet, then you would do 11 by 8.5, but in this case it's portrait style, so it's 8.5 by 11, and then you just hit apply. And so it changes your sheet into a regular sheet, so you could totally print it out if you need to. Now that I have it the right size, I'm going to go to background and I'm going to choose an image. So I'm going to browse, and if you have something in your Google Drive, you can totally access it from your Google Drive. Go to pictures because that's where I saved it. And then it was function something. Right there. Function intervention practice. Open. So I had a whole bunch of function stuff. So that's why I always make sure I titled it exactly what it is. All right. Done. So now I have this worksheet here that I just uploaded. So the good thing about doing it as a background is that the kids cannot mess with it. They can't delete stuff like they could if you would have just done like a Word doc. And so that's why I like to do it that way. But now we have a problem, right? How are the kids going to be able to type in it? So you can do one of two things. So let me zoom in so we can see what's going on. The first thing, I don't think it's do the best job with the picture. Anyways, the first thing is you can just insert text boxes and just tell the kids type here. And I misspelled type. All right, and then just duplicate this. So click on the box and click Control D and then just drag it wherever you need it. So Control D and then drag it. So that's the first way. The second way, and I'm going to zoom out a little bit, is I like to have something on the side for directions. So I found this on the online. Let me show you. It's in my PowerPoint. This one. So I found this online, and so I'm just going to the clipboard. I just added on here. So I'm gonna copy it. So Control C, and I'm gonna add it here. So Control, I think I did V. And so the reason I like to have this, and you can even do it on the worksheet, but I like to have, because I like to give kids, like, especially now that they're just learning how to use this online, like specific directions or like a video, like a fun little video. But I'm going to use this time to create sentence stems, because I know a lot of us work in Title I schools, and so I'm all about sentence stems. And so I'm going to say this is a function because, and then they fill in, right? And then I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to say this is not a function because, and then I like to also color code, because that's what a good ELL strategy. So function is green, and then this is red. And then I would also type in directions here, like slide in. Hold on, let me bring this down. All right, so let me do another text box. So I'm just getting a text box from the T, and then directions. Slide the word stem. Hold on, let me identify if the relation is a function or not a function. So that's the first thing I need them to do. And I usually number this to make it very clear for them. So the second thing I need them to do, slide the sentence stem that fits the relation. That's a period. And the third thing I need them to do is fill in the y. You think it is a function or not a function. Okay, so this took this little activity from it just being a substitution. Now I've augmented this because they're able to slide this over, practice answering in complete sentences, and tell me the why behind it. So this is a little bit of a minor augmentation to this substitution worksheet. And make sure you title this. So functions intervention 1. I could also add a video here if it's an intervention, because obviously they're struggling, so I can add a video. This also has a examples of how to do it. So this is how you upload a worksheet into make it digital, to digitalize your worksheet or your resource that you want the kids to do. So here all I did was add a text box to it, Or you can take a little step further and add sentence stems for them to be able to fit in and give the why behind it. And you can even expand that further by adding a little video here to help them with the work. So I hope this was helpful to you. Please feel free to ask me any questions. I am on Digital Teaching Rockstars, here to support you and for all of us to support you. And so hopefully this was helpful so you can start the school year like this.